Now, of course, people wonder, well, Leo, but how do you know you can trust these insights? It's a foolish question because insight is insight. Insight is a direct consciousness into the nature of a thing, some aspect of reality. When you have a direct insight, it's absolutely true. Now, of course, you can misinterpret insights easily, quite easily. So I'm not saying this is foolproof. There's a lot of self-deception potential here, but then again, there's everywhere. But what you'll discover with psychedelics is that the insights are more true and more powerful and more certain than anything that you are able to access in ordinary waking consciousness, ordinary life. Really, what you should be questioning is, why do you attach so much importance and truth and significance to ordinary consciousness, ordinary life right here? This is just a hallucination. After all, even under the scientific materialist paradigm, what does science tell you? Science tells you that you have neurotransmitters flowing through your brain all the time. Not only when you take a psychedelic, all the time. Right now, if you want to believe science, there are neurotransmitters running through your head right now, which are responsible for generating all the colors, sounds, and everything here. Without those neurotransmitters, you could not understand the words that I'm saying, nor could you recognize yourself or myself as human beings. You could not access memories. You could not understand what time or space are. Right? So my question to you is, how myopic would you have to be, if that's the case, that if this current experience you're having is completely dominated by neurotransmitters? How myopic would you have to be? How arrogant would you have to be to think that this current configuration of neurotransmitters is the one true one, the one from which you can understand what's true and what's false? See? So the irony of people who criticize psychedelics is that they themselves are doing it from a state of hallucination, but they're so ignorant and oblivious and lacking in self-reflection that they don't understand that what they're doing is they're criticizing psychedelics from a state of hallucination and delusion. They're not self-aware enough to realize that, oh, well, neurotransmitters are governing my entire state right now. So if I'm sitting here thinking that, oh, those psychedelics, they must be stupid, they must be false, that's being run by the neurotransmitters in here. So now imagine what happens if we change the neurotransmitter cocktail to something else. Which neurotransmitter cocktail is the one true one that allows you to access the truth? Well, the mistake is thinking that there is one cocktail. I'm not saying there's one cocktail. You're saying there's only one cocktail, and you're taking your current cocktail as the one true one. What I'm telling you is that there's an infinite number of cocktails. There is no one true one. The truth is that all cocktails are relative. And they just generate appearances. And that's it. That is the truth. The truth is not a particular vision or cocktail that you have or see. The truth is a meta thing. The truth is not one particular state of consciousness. The truth is the realization that everything is a state of consciousness and that there's nothing but states of consciousness. That's the real truth. And psychedelics are very helpful for getting you to access that. You see, one of the things that these enlightened masters and teachers who poo-poo psychedelics, one of the things they don't tell you when they tell you that psychedelics just change your state. Yes, psychedelics change your state, but this is so foolish because different states grant you different access to insight and truth. Not all states are the same. And this current state you're in, I got news for you. This is one of the worst possible states for accessing truth. There are 100 other states of consciousness that are way better, way clearer for accessing truth. And the only way you're going to know that is by entering those states. You can't stay in your current state and judge some other state out there. You have to be wise enough to recognize that, oh, I could be trapped inside of a state. I need to break out of this state and see other states before I can really determine how good my original state was. You see, you can't just start out assuming that your state is the best state. That's as silly as the way that humans used to think that the earth was the center of the universe and that the sun and everything else revolved around the earth. Why did they think that? Because they were so myopic and self-centered that they just thought that, well, this current configuration is the best one and it must be the center of everything. I got news for you. It ain't the center of anything. This is just one planet orbiting one star inside of a giant galaxy with billions of stars and then a universe with billions and billions more of galaxies, just like this one, with trillions of planets and God knows what else. That's the scope we're talking about here. Your current state of consciousness is as limited as living on Earth compared to all the other planets in the universe. That's how limited your experience of consciousness and reality is. So taking psychedelics is not about achieving some wonderful state, some blissful state. It's about getting insight into the nature of how the entire system works. And it's very useful to enter certain states to get that insight. And this is precisely why meditation is done.